What's going on, everybody? I'm Nash Herrington with CraveOnline, and we're here at Universal Studios Hollywood for the red carpet premiere of Insidious 2. What did you guys do with this movie that stands out that's different from the first one?
I think we had to take it into almost a different genre because the haunted house genre, one of the staples of it is family moves into a house, they don't know what's going on, they learn what's going on. We're starting a film with a bunch of characters who know what's going on. Like, if we started this film off with the Lambert family and a cup moved across the table, they're not going to be like, what was that? They're going to be like, oh, that old thing again.
Old news.
Old news. Come on, try something different. So we had to really recontextualize the film and almost take it into the genre of like a supernatural domestic thriller.
Certainly for me, without giving too much away, it's a whole different mess with Josh this time. He's in a heap of trouble.
Patrick was scary. He scared me because he's so crazy in the movie, so that was pretty scary.
It taps into the real human evil within us. It may not be supernatural. There's a lot of supernatural in this, but there's that other stuff, that fine line of what, is that just our evil? And that's what I think gets a little more disturbing.
It's going to be a really satisfying sequel for the fans. I think they tie in some elements from the first movie that it's going to be like a, oh wow kind of moment.
What was it like being the crazy person in a horror movie?
The genre terrifies me. I'm not a huge horror film watcher because I'm so sensitive, and here I am now being like the scary component to this movie. So it's funny what life does to you.
Is that kind of cathartic? Does it make it less scary being the person that's causing all the fear?
Maybe, yeah. It's sort of like there was a dispelling that happened, or like it wasn't like a disenchantment that happened, but the actual terror when you sort of get in the nuts and bolts of what it takes to make a scary moment. It's not scary at all.
These kind of movies are so technical to make. It's like James is so great at crafting the scene. In fact, a lot of it he does. It's all so practical. Reveals and stuff. It's like someone literally hiding right next to you. Then they move out of frame. Then they pop up. So it's not funny. It's not. It is funny. If anything, you're trying not to laugh.
It's really like a dance. The camera, the actors, everything to get the timing right for the fear and the tension. So
I'd never done a scary movie before The Conjuring, and I've done 2 in a row. So yeah, it's fun. They're a lot of fun. It's a lot like being 11 and pretending.
Do you feel like being in a scary movie help make them less scary to you?
Definitely, because now you know that it's fake. It probably will never happen to you. Yeah. Most likely, unless demons are real. Yeah. I doubt they are, though.
Tell me what it was like to embody the young version of Patrick Wilson.
I actually went up to him and I was like, is there any gestures or things that you would make and stuff like that? And so I just tried to basically embody and see what he would be like as a kid and put myself in that situation.
Have you guys made it a point to try to make the ghosts under a bedsheet scary again, if it ever was scary in the first place?
Well, hopefully it is. I think that's something James just loves. It's that thing of really old school scares. We love Carnival of Souls. We're oftentimes referencing films that are more obscure, and so people see it and they think it's this crazy thing that we've done, but really we're just taking our cues from these older films that we love.
For Halloween Horror Nights, they're actually doing an Insidious maze. You have a chance to go through it?
Not in a million years. That will terrify the hell out of me. Yeah, I told you I'm a fraidy cat. It's totally ironic that I'm in a scary movie. Yeah. I'd probably pee myself a little bit if I went in it, and I guarantee people it'll be terrifying.
I feel like I'm 12. I get to go after the movie. So yeah, because it opens like the end of the month or something.
Next Friday.
Oh, well, yeah, we get to go, so I'm going to do that. I'm very excited.
We've already done it before with Saw, and I have to tell you a story. I went to see the Saw maze a few years ago here, and I walked in, and the first room you walk into is a recreation of the bathroom from the first film, and there's a guy pretending to be me on the floor, and I was tripped out, and as I was walking, I see a pair of shoes behind a curtain, and I pull the curtain back. Unfortunately, you're not supposed to pull the curtains back. A guy taps me on the shoulder and kicks me out of my own maze. This guy with a clipboard, he's like, "Excuse me, sir, you have to leave." I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Come this way." I walk outside, he's like, "You can't interfere with the performers." And I had to stop him and say, "I don't know how to put this. I wrote that film. Please let me finish that maze." And he's like, sure, you wrote the film. Come on.
You think you'll be scared by it?
I don't think so. This stuff, but that's because I kind of know when you know all the mechanics. But I shouldn't say that.
That's true.
Because I'll probably be the first one kicking and screaming, going, let me out of here.
I'm actually scared because when you're shooting, you know what's coming. They're setting up the scene for you, but I've always been afraid of haunted houses, so
I'm a little scared still because I don't know what's going to pop out. I don't know anything about it.
This movie is about a haunting. Have you ever personally experienced a haunting?
You know what? I haven't, and I wish I had. I'm not kidding. I would love it if I went home tonight and saw a ghost. People think I'm crazy when I say that, but first of all, it's proof of life after death, so I can relax on that front.
One of my best friends, one night he was just sleeping and he woke up like for no reason, and his door of his room creaked open and a small figure walked in and stopped in front of him and walked back out. And he got like super freaked out and he went and told his mom, and they actually ended up moving away from the house because of that.
Well, after I watched the first Insidious, I was going back up into my room and my remote just fell off of my bed. And I was like, what the heck happened? For the 30 minutes I was running around my room scared. And then I looked to my right and I see my windows open and the wind blew it off my bed.
Oh, well, fortunately you were safe that night.
Yeah, fortunately.
I was about 8, 9 years old, and I was just getting out of church youth group, which is the irony. And it was like the sun was setting, it was a little dark, dusk, and I walked around the corner and I saw this homeless person and they were asking me for help. And they seemed in such pain. And I was like, oh, are you okay? I go, no, I need help. Will you help me? And I go, okay, yes, I'll help you. Let me just go get my dad. Because I was scared.
Yeah.
I didn't have like the wherewithal to know what to do with this person. So I turned around, took a few steps, turned back around, and they were gone. And I felt like maybe it was a test to see if I was a good soul. Like, would I, this sort of impressionable young girl, help this sort of scary demon/angel/homeless person?
I was in my dorm room in acting school, right, 17 years old, and I was doing some homework. And all of a sudden I felt, this sounds very corny, but this awful chill in the air. And it wasn't just bad, but temperature. And my roommate behind me, we were back to back. He said, Steve, don't move. Think good thoughts. And I had a picture of my girlfriend on my desk. He said, just look at her. Look at Sarah. Just keep looking at her. And I was like, and finally it just sort of went away. And it creeped the crap out of me. But that's my only real, I didn't see anything, but it was just a feeling of something, and it was a tiny little room. Something was in there. Like why it would haunt an acting school.
Trying to scare you guys away and get real jobs.
Yes, that's what it was. My father probably sent it.
I think about this world so much and I write these films, I kind of want to see a ghost, you know?
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody sees a ghost in real life, don't freak out, just talk to it. You probably get it worked out.
Yeah, you know, you could really work it out. You might have to have some holy water or something on you, but I think ghosts are reasonable.
I feel like most of the time people are constantly running and never actually get caught by them. If they would just stop and talk.
I think you're thinking of bears. That's
Maybe
the
it's
instructions
bears.
for you're getting confused with that camping trip you took to Yosemite with the bear instructions, where you have to walk back slowly and not run away.
Slowly from bears, run fast
you
from
can actually
ghosts.
run out of ghosts because you'll just go straight through it. You know,
Good point.
You're fine with it.